I am very, very, very happy to say that that dinette is finally, apart from a little clean up in places, finished. I've been extremely busy today. Varnished that wall up, sanded it back gently. I've took the window frame off. I've cleaned and dedusted. I just got to get some white spirit and get rid of the glue stains. The blind is in the house. The frame has been sanded back and altered. The table's back in. We've just got to varnish up. The seats are fitted, but I'm not happy with these at all. I've used some cheap ass hinges, as I spoke about, and when I say cheap ass, I mean really cheap ass. They're as flimsy as hell. What is it with companies today? Why do they have to build everything below a decent spec? This one I had to put some wood behind because I couldn't get that one to work. It's too far on the edge. I just got to put some struts behind to support it, which is what I plan to do for all of them, because I want these seats sitting slightly forward so I can get some blinds behind these windows, as we spoke about in previous video if you've watched it. So we've varnished the frame up, blinds getting cleaned later on, that'll all go back on. I've tore that horrible light off. I've just got to make some trim to go along here, hide all these screws, and I'm going to make a panel to go up in the ceiling with two other lights to go in there. The wiring's there, so it's all accessible. So that's pretty much it really. Tomorrow I'm going to get out here, I'm going to sand that wall down, trim off all that glue and varnish in the side there, sort those scratches out, because the varnish is hiding the scratches up beautifully, so we don't need to worry too much about that. And we'll clean all the dust down over there, and we'll sand down the doors and we'll refit those, and I think I might varnish those in situ because there's less dust working for her. She can't get in. Problem is she's got very short legs, and the height of that seat is there's no step because I didn't bring it round. I was going to, and then I changed my mind last minute. That overhang with the slip that slips up and down is in the way. She got on that chair perfectly, but then she complained that the backrest wasn't far enough forward, and well, that's comfortable for me. So what she's saying is she wants that side over here. I'm looking at this table. I don't like that flap. Blooming horrible. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I didn't want to do this, but pull the table back out again and literally cut it at that line there. Plane and sand that back so it all matches, and then bring the table slightly over so it sort of sits level in the middle. And we'll just have to sit forward when we're scoffing, and then sit back and do whatever we're doing. I intend to give her a good thrashing of a game of chess and drafts, so that's the best I can come up with really. Unfortunately, the table, if I take that board out, it's no longer going to sit level, so that leg is going to shift over, and I can't exactly move that leg. It's not going to be possible. I don't know what to do with it, other than if I move it over slightly. I'll have to get her sitting it again tomorrow and I'll have a proper look. But I don't think that'll be a very comfortable. Oh, I made it all wrong, didn't I? Ugh. Well, I can definitely take the hinges off, and I can definitely sand that back. Problem is, there's a small piece of board there with a wide piece of board over there. Now I could cut that other piece and level it off to what's going on there. I could even recut the sides and put some oak around it as a frame. I could even do that if it came to it, just build it out with some oak all the way around. We'll have to look at this again because this isn't working. She can't get in at all. This seat sits forward because of the woodwork I had to put at the back to hold the seat together. Whereas the rest are hinged, although they might not be staying with hinges because I'm not liking these. This one just needs a prop underneath the back to support it, and this one needs to be brought a little bit more forward so as when the blinds go in they don't hit. There you go. The frame is varnished, corners are nicely done, and the blind has been de-dusted. I've just got to get some white spirit on the window. As I said before, I ain't done that yet. The table's now fixed, and it's fixed in solid, man. I love that. It's bolted in down the bottom, but it's not just the bottom. I've used the window frame as a secondary support, so it ain't going nowhere. I've cut the side off, as you saw. I've watered down some varnish because I'm having some trouble with this varnish. It's drying on the top but not underneath. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think I need to thin it out more. So that's what I've done. So I'm going to get a separate varnish tin and pour some of that in with some white spirit at a later date and see if we can't get some better results. I mean, the varnish in its sloppy form is brilliant for walls, but it's terrible if you want to do a nice surface. So we've got a little bit more sanding to do on that, and then we'll hoover, get rid of the dust and go over it again. I mean, you can see the quality. It is good varnish, it just doesn't dry very well. So yeah, so the wife's going to come in and test it again, see if she can get in. I'm not happy with the table in the sense that I've got a short piece and a big piece, but it's just the way it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I'm going to do about it. That's just how it's going to have to stay. She has asked me to put a footplate in for her to go across so she can get her feet in. What I'm actually debating about doing, something that's been going on in my mind, is maybe put a false floor down with a couple of drawers hidden inside so we can slide the drawers out, bring it out to here somewhere, curve it there, and drawer come out there, a nice long drawer and a short drawer there. Not a bad idea. Anyway, I don't think I should film this next piece because she'll get a bit upset with me, won't you?
Be quiet.
On you get. You can move.
I don't have to.
Right, so what we've got left to do. I need to make some frames up next for those windows. I need to put some battens behind the seats so I can bring the seats further forward, like so. I need to do that on all the seats, including this one because this one's the worst. I need to make a frame for the windows. I need to put the blinds in, and then the last job is the light fitting and the trim to go along here because I've got like tear marks everywhere. It's not the greatest look, and I need to hide this wiring, as you can see. And then I'd say this, apart from the floor bit that we've got to do, and that I'm not in a hurry for that, if I'm honest. Sorry dear, I'm not in a hurry to make that. That's plywood and it's just aggravation I don't want at the moment. I might actually just do a normal swing out stuff. So we'll probably turn our attentions to this. Some more money coming next week, so we might be able to start boarding this all out. I'm actually looking forward to getting it done because once this job is done, as I spoke before, we can start getting all the walls cleaned up and getting the ceiling in. I'm actually looking forward to getting the vinyl up and the ceiling. I had to put that light up there. It was getting on my nerves coming in here at night, so I temporarily screwed that up there. I'm going to get a broom handle a little while, make up the brackets so we can fit that in, and then we can hang clothes. I'm going to get the doors sanded back because the varnish went wrong on them as well, and we're going to fix those back to those and slide them in and then varnish them up with a roller separately in the van because dust is also an issue. And so I'm going to water that down a bit. I've got a piece of oak. I have drilled with a spade bit all the way around to there and there, wherever I needed to do really. I was going to put some strip LEDs on the side, but when I pulled that box apart I managed to trash the LEDs, and I don't really want to put one set on one side only, and I really wasn't in the mood to solder that sucker back up again. Although saying that, let's have a look at those. I just threw them in here. Yeah, see, I've got to solder that back on. I can't be bothered with that. So we're just going to go with the centre ones, and they are pretty bright, but I'm not going to show you those once I've wired it in. I'm just going to leave it until this evening. I need to change the battery in there with that one because that one in the cupboard is a bit flat. And these particular lights, and I'll show you, are these. They are power hungry. When I say power hungry, I'm not talking about draining out loads of amps. I'm talking that if your battery starts to deplete, as you can see on this point here, my battery is nearly dead, but my LEDs up there still work. Everything still fires up, but it's coming through dimmer than it normally would. I put those 2 tubes on there last night and nothing. There was just like little tiny dots of light, and that was all there was. So they do need a fair bit of power. So 1 piece of oak, countersunk, 4 holes, ready to go up there. Trenched it out so I can hide the brick block, as I like to call it, or brick block, in the actual trench itself. What I should do is put some sealant in there really and hold this all back, but I want this up now because I want this job out of the way. I'll put that up there. The wire that's hanging, I'll then bring that along here, and then I'll join it on as close to the corner as I can get it, which won't be that close. Might pay me. No, I'm gonna, I don't know, should I, shouldn't I? That ain't gonna reach anyway, although there is a lot more wire hidden behind here. Let me just come back to you. It's in, and they are, well, you can't see it from the camera, but they are very bright. They are as bright as them, if not brighter. So that should, I don't know if we're going to get it. Oh, look at that. See, it lights the table up beautifully. I mean, come night time, that whole table area will be lit up. I just wish now I put some LEDs alongside to light the ceiling up now, but never mind. Another job done. Whew, that one was a hard one. Moving on. Well, I'm getting a little stuck for jobs. Reinstated skirting board, but I'll make some alterations to that, but we'll sort that out at a later date. And I chopped up one of the wife's yard brooms so I can get a hanger in there. I've got to clean the bottom, the paint's still a bit sticky. Left my footprints in there. So I suppose we've got the drawers to do and put the door back on. What I think I shall do tomorrow, anyway, I'm tired now, I had enough. I might get the back batten sorted out on these seats and maybe put some kind of framing in around those windows. I won't be doing a curvy frame. I'll probably just put a batten across there and another one there and one going down because of that horrible angle, and then I'll put the blind on the inside of the wood on both of them. These windows, I wish they never fitted them. They're a pain in the butt, especially that one. But yeah, I need to give that white over as well with some spirits. But yeah, I think we'll do that tomorrow and see if we can't knock up some bit of trim to hide that wire. I'm still thinking what else needed doing over here. I had figured it all out earlier on. I've flipping forgotten. I think that's it, isn't it? No, it ain't. We've got to sort this bit here out, but I've been debating about peeling that off gently and sticking it to the wood with some adhesive or something. Maybe if I varnish that, take that off, varnish it, so I've got a surface, I can use some carpet tape on there and then reinstate that actually on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to undo it though, because the wiring goes through that one. It's just in the wrong damn place. Right, it's nice and dark. I thought I'd do some end of day recording. Remember those lights I put in? I'm impressed with them. 2, that's all there is, just 2. And they light that table up lovely. It's got a nice ambience about it. Doesn't seem that bright on the camera, but trust me, there's just the right amount of light to sit there at night, eat your dinner, have a beer, have a chat, talk about the day. And once this has got its varnish on, I think this is going to look stunning. I'm very pleased with this. Very pleased with it. I've got to do something about that strip light though, that's blinding. It really is quite a bit of a rubbish day today, not much sun, plenty of wind and a bit of chill. And I'm still working, still doing stuff. And we've started the little side window frames, because they have been niggling me for months. There is the first one. I've used two types of wood, two species. We've got some kind of mahogany, and then we've got an oak. And I won't lie, it was just a case of, this is the wood that's lying around. If we work it a little bit, it shouldn't be too bad. And the best bit is, the little blinds I bought fit straight in there, and you'll see that one come together at a later date in this video. So that's one. Just got that one to do. It's hidden up the nasty curvatures that I miserably messed up, and there's no denying that I did mess those completely up. It's not brilliant, nothing of mine is brilliant, but it sort of works, and that's all it needs to be doing. So we've got to build some backrest supports, because I want that a little bit more angled off anyway. Keep that away from the window, and that's kind of what you're seeing. It does look crooked, but I can assure you it isn't. Everything was measured, everything is identical, all the gaps fit. Damn, I'm happy with them. I've just got to get some varnish on them, so I'm going to have to mask up the wallpaper. Now, I've used polyurethane glue to hold that all in. Unfortunately, I couldn't get two screws in the middle, which is what I had planned. I made the screws too close to the steel frame that's in there. The only way to do that is to get some super long rivets, really, and drill into that steel, which I might do, I might not do. I might do a counterbore and attempt it, but I've got to find some rivets around here first. So I don't know where they've all gone. Plus the fact I'm putting some steel and aluminium, I've already got steel and aluminium in there anyway, so it won't make a lot of odds, will it? Steel does react with the oak, and it does look a bit wonky, I won't lie, it does. But you can see the lines, they're smack on. That's got to be the chair. Yeah, the chair's leaning over a little bit. I might do that to all of the chairs at some point. But there's the first one. Took a couple of hours to cut and measure, and we've just got to do the same on this one now, and then we'll get somewhere with it. So yeah, cool as hell. Well, I think it is anyway. Frame is in, but that didn't quite go as well. Unfortunately, I had no wood to screw to. I had to cut these big old screws down, drill into the metal, and act as self-tappers instead. What I plan to do once this is dried off, because there is expand, and I had to pull that across as well because it wasn't very square. I had no end of trouble with this one, I tell you. Anyway, what I'll do once that's all filled in, I'll take them out, I'll countersink them deeper, put them back, and then put filler over them, and we'll hide them because I really don't like them. But on the plus side, oh, look at that. Hello. I like that. I like that a lot. It is coming together. God, I'm so pleased with this now. I have been hating this truck for such a long while. That's not having the money to do things, and I've had to take that tough decision of, if you ain't got the money, stop cutting corners, because you'll be back on it again. So do it properly the first time. I'm doing my best, and yeah, that didn't follow through the first time round the way. Oh, that sounded wrong. Anyway, change subject. Blinds on, fully working, but there's a metal piece down the bottom here. See that one, and it's still a bit tight. I ground it back, but that's still a bit tight. I actually debated about drilling into the wood there and there, so those things stick in, and maybe just not have that so it moves. But it does mean I'm going to struggle to open it. As you can see, it ain't happening. I don't even know if I really want to open them. So yeah, aluminium blinds, well chuffed. So we've got one more set of blinds to do. I'm just waiting for that to dry out a little bit better than what it is, and then we'll go back trying to fit that one. But this window frame was a absolute bloody mare. I am not joking you. One didn't come out as good. A bit of a nuisance, but it's in. Not so excited about that one as I have been about the rest, but now we've got to make some reinforcements on the back of the doors. If you're wondering how to stop the rattles from when you're driving along, it's quite simple really. You pull this cord and you lock them, and then they stop rattling, and you can see out the windows and all the rest of it, just in case someone asked that question. So the only problem is the manufacturers have put the string in wrong. Blinking idiots. Second time I found it. And that one. Look at that. It's supposed to be in front. As far as I know anyway. Right. You see what I mean? Gotta sort that out. Am I on a roll? There's the back stops. What do you think of that? Doesn't hit the window, keeps the seats off the walls. Got a little bit of an overhang on that one. I'm on a roll today, guys, I tell you. I'm pleased, I'm very pleased. I'm so happy. Table is stable. Solid, man. They can't tell me that's not a fixed table at DVLA, because that ain't going nowhere. Blocks are in place, they just want varnishing up, because they will go black if I don't. Yes, I am so happy. I might fix, I don't know if that's going to be possible, I might put some latches on these seats just so they don't fly around when we're going along. This one ain't so much of a problem, but this one and these two actually will be a bit of a nightmare for it. There's a block of wood at the back where the headrest is. I might be able to put a bolt in there or something, lock them down, but we'll see. I'm not particularly that mithered about them. That's stuff that comes when you start testing the truck out and driving around and all the rest of it. So, man, oh man, am I happy. So, I'll do that trim tomorrow. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing with that. I found some caravan trim, you know, the stuff that goes on the outside. I might just cut a piece of that and put that in place, and that is all I need to do. I've got an old to show you this all varnished up and 100% finished, but I'm afraid to say that isn't going to happen yet because we are still creating a lot of dust in here, and until I get at least this bit done, there's not a lot I dare do over here, because I can guarantee you this will stay soft for a good week or more, and dust will land on it and it'll indent it and it'll just be an absolute nuisance, and I'll forget and put something on it and scratch it. And so I'm calling this video. I am very, very, very happy to say that that dinette is finally, apart from a little clean up in places, finished. I'll give you an example of what I need to clean, and that will come under the varnishing, like here. Lots of glue, overspray, which will come off. That I'm pretty confident about. And that's only a couple of minutes. I mean, we've just cleaned up there, we've done the window. So we'll go around, we'll put some trim in there later on in the months. But at the moment, nope. There's nothing more I can do in this corner apart from use the space during the day for sitting down and just relaxing and thinking of what is next to be done. So what have we done so far? Well, this last 2 weeks we've been very, very busy. We've taken the wooden frame off, revarnished it and reshaped the corners, and I think they look a lot better than they did before. We've varnished up the trim underneath because that was another job it needed doing. We've added this, took that silly square light out, and we've put this in with some strips in there. We've made some window frames, be it not great, but they work, with the blinds set in position. We've done that. We've put some backrests, we've put some crappy hinges on the back of the seats, but we've got to come back to this at a later date because I want to put boards behind here, and I'm actually debating about doing this to all the seats with the wood. We've put backrests on these seats, as you can see. We've wallpapered where the carpet was. That's all been done. We've reinstated the skirting board. We've still got a jamming slide out, but I now know what it is and I can now deal with that. We've also put a piece of shitty trim in, which will get cleaned up at a later date when I do the varnish work, because that indent along here, I want to put an LED strip inside that on both sides and connect it up to these lights. And I was thinking about using the last of my yellow that will beam down into this dinette area. I am really, really happy with this. I can't describe how happy I am, so you're just going to take my word for it. this is one job, apart from the varnish, I say it's one job that is now finally finished that I don't need to return to. Nothing needs replacing, fixing or returning to. Nothing. I've just got to clean it all up now, and that will come in when we clean the rest of the truck up for the next process, which is here. I am going to move on to that skylight in a little while, but that's another video for another day. I think I've got enough footage here to upload, and I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with that. We just got to clean. That's all I've got to do now. So yeah, I would like to say thank you very much for your viewing. Thank you for the likes you gave on the previous video. The comments, thank you again. Aaron, you said something, I can't remember what it was now, I've forgotten, about returning. Now, the problem I've got with a lot of the jobs that I do is I do one thing and then I find a better way to do it. I seem to improve on what I was doing before, or the money wasn't available to do it the way I originally wanted to do, and then lo and behold, an opportunity comes forward, like with you yourself, that's been giving me bits and bobs from where you work. Things have changed and I've been able to do things differently on various jobs. So if that answers your question, I hope. Thanks for the comment, and Richard, thanks for your comment. I'm glad you're liking it, and yeah, it's a lot of work. I wish this thing would stick. That's a bit of blind, just hiding up some holes, but I reckon we're going to have to run a couple of tacks in there. So yeah, next one is next week. We are going to sort the rest of this out. A bit of luck. I'm hoping to have enough money in my pocket where we can now finally line that whole back area. I've got some polyurethane sitting in the shed that I'm going to chop up and put in the gaps. I've got a couple of bits of that left, but there's just not enough to do anything with. And we'll rebuild that. We're going to put some battens across here just to reinforce that, and then we'll screw it all together, and that'll be that. Once we get that front done on the inside, then we can buy some plywood, wallpaper up, and then cover that. Once that area is all done and everything's screwed down, not necessarily plumbed in but definitely screwed down, we'll then work on the cabinet up above, and then once the cabinet's done, we will get the ceiling put in and get all the trim done, and then we'll start the varnish work. And then once we've done that, we'll definitely, I'm hoping to get some bits together for that rat rod, engine wise, soon, so I can get back onto that. I am going to do it, I promise I'm doing it. I just don't know when at the moment. I'm just waiting on a few bits, which has stopped me in my tracks at the moment. So yeah, that's what's left to do there. So we're moving on that bit. The dinette is finished. I'm so happy about that, I really am. Right, until next week, see you laters.